We are the true believers. What is going on, Ben Nation? Back from vacation. Finally got a big update for you. So there's a lot going on in the background, a lot happening with the website, but we're at the end of the year. So what can you expect? They are meeting next week with the development team for the website. That will include the front end, include everything that goes into it. They'll get an assessment of exactly what needs to happen for it, and then be ready for taking off. Now, that does take a little bit of time. Of course, some of the plans are becoming a little bit bigger and taking just a moment. So right now, the best thing for you to do is enjoy your holiday. Enjoy the fact that you've got a Christmas or a holiday or whatever it is that you celebrate. Enjoy the fact that for most of us, we have a new year and we'll have a nice little run. This is the start of the bull market. This team is getting everything together so that the bull market is where everything gets maximum. That's the goal. That's the purpose. That's exactly what we want to see. Now, that's not for everybody. And we've seen that. We've seen people buying the dip. We've seen more dip. We've seen continued dip. And that does happen. That does happen. Remember, we are a project that has a chairman that runs hot. He lets people know exactly what he thinks. He doesn't take himself too seriously. He enjoys debating with people, let's call it. And, if that's not for you, that's fine. But that is who he is. That is who he always was. That's who you invested in when you first did to begin with. So why change now? Why do something different? It doesn't make any sense. So we're going to look at the price chart. Then we're going to wrap this up. And then I'm going to wish you a happy new year. And we'll see you on the other side. So first, obviously, the price action could be better. Now, if you're wondering what all this stuff is that I'm using, High IQ link is in the description down below. I do think that we're going to have a nice little rip for the end of the year, but I'll remove that for just a moment. And remember, we had this conversation here, and I said, if we survive this test at the 5-0 line, then we're going to get a nice little rip up here, probably drop a zero before the end of the year. Well, the opposite happened. Almost immediately, someone sold, I want to say about 8 ETH. Then a few hours later, somebody else sold about 8 ETH. And then that got bought back up, part of it. And then somebody else did the same thing. Then we had a nice little move back towards where we were before at the 6,000 level, up to a little over 774. And then the same thing started happening again. You see these big sell downs here. And then finally, you end up with this move down here, which was about a 13 ETH sell. And look, there's people who are looking for a number of things. And, we wish them well on their way. They're just not going to be here with us anymore towards the end. It doesn't mean that there's much negativity. It doesn't mean that there's problems. It means that people are probably, in the subjective to me and at best, taking their money out because they're going to have to pay a tax bill, something like that. And this is the one they decided to sell off, or they're just trying to move it on to something else because some people are just not capable of relaxing and letting their investment work for them in a long-term basis. Just not their nature. Their nature is to put it in for a couple months, wait for the stimulation, the pump, whatever it is, and then exit and then move on to the. So they're just not going to be here with us at the end. Maybe they come back, maybe they don't. But once we get a nice little reversal and the pump starts, rest assured that money generally does come back. So I'm not too concerned with the movements right now, the price action. Everybody would love to see better, but it just doesn't work that way sometimes. It takes some utility. It takes some function. It takes some uses. And we're still working on getting everything operational and out so that it can happen. And it's unfair to you to give you a false pump or something like that because it's just going to lead to a dump. And look, I know that you want to see that big move up. You want to see that big move down. You want to see that big move up. You want to see that big move down. Some of you do. But the rest of you are fine just kind of holding and waiting for your opportunity because there will be a breakout. Now, when you look at this chart, you can kind of see here that, you got to look back a little bit and sort of be speculative about it and say, well, maybe this represents a trend line. I would like to think that it's more like this right here. This downward trend line right here has been what we've seen as resistance right now. And that being the case, what we're looking for at this point is going to be a breakout above 7,400. Now, if that plays itself out appropriately, and you can see there's just a long It's been doing this for a while, right? And we get that breakout above this, then maybe we sideways test after we get that move, and then off to the races, right? So give yourself a test here, and then boom, we're above it because that's going to be a breakout. Even though, look, it's not the breakout straight up that you want, but it is a breakout. And then we come up here and we do some retesting, and then boom, before you know it, we're on our way. And then it just takes a little bit of information. Now, as you know, Ben and Cassie are on vacation. They're ending the year, and then we've got everything coming in the new year, right? Ben is going to have a spot on his show dedicated to Ben Coin every day, or at least it's not going to be exactly Ben Coin, but it will be meme coin space based, et cetera, et cetera. Maybe even see this guy on the show. You never know. Maybe. And you'll more and more investors start to come in, and it'll trickle at first, but then it'll become a landslide. I do believe that because, look, Ben Armstrong is the man that moves the needle. Like him, hate him, you're not indifferent about him. So when this market really erupts, when it really, really takes off, everybody else is going to think the same thing that I'm thinking right now. What they're thinking right now is, I'm going to go get this pump. I'm going to go chase this pump. I need to chase my high. I'm chasing that dragon, if you will. And when they're done chasing that dragon, then they're going to put their money where they think EI is definitely going to run, right? Will it get to $1 billion market cap or 2 billion market cap or whatever it takes to become a top 100? Well, Ben says it will. And anybody who has bet against him so far, unless you had a bunch of thieves stealing his business from him on your bingo card, that was a big one. But if you didn't have that on your bingo card, then he wears you down. He tears you apart. He wins over and over and over again. And that's the team that you want to be on. That's the side that you want to be on, because that's a testament to who he is. He wins. So if you want to be on the winning team, you better get Ben now. Anyway, it's not financial advice. My name is Blaze Mars, right? Happy New Year to everybody. We will see you guys again very soon. Stay faithful, stay focused, because time is coming. And when it starts, who knows when it ends. We'll talk to you again very, very soon.